The music stopped, and the room held its breath. Emma Carter stood frozen at the edge of the reception hall, her heart pounding as the bride's voice echoed through the microphone. She hadn't expected to feel this way, not tonight, not ever. It was her brother Ethan's wedding, a day meant for joy, yet Emma's chest tightened with a storm of emotions she couldn't name. The bride, Lily Harper, stood radiant in white, her smile a blade that cut through Emma's carefully built walls. 5 years ago, Lily had been the sharp-tongued cheerleader who mocked Emma's identity, her cruel words slicing through a vulnerable teenager's heart. Now, she was marrying Emma's brother, and Emma was forced to watch, her past and present colliding in a way that felt like betrayal. The coastal town of Havenport, California, glittered under the summer sun, its cliffs and beaches a postcard of perfection. The wedding venue, a sprawling seaside estate, buzzed with laughter and clinking glasses. Emma, now 28, had returned to her hometown for the occasion. Her life in San Francisco as a graphic designer a world away from the memories that haunted these streets. She adjusted her tie, black, sleek, paired with a tailored blazer and scanned the room. Her short, tousled brown hair fell into her eyes, and she brushed it back, trying to steady herself. She hadn't seen Lily since high school, but the sight of her now, glowing and poised, stirred something unsettling. Was it anger, or something softer, more dangerous? Ethan, 30, stood beside Lily, his easy grin a mirror of their late fathers. He'd always been Emma's anchor, the one who defended her when their small town whispered about her choices. But when he started dating Lily 2 years ago, Emma felt a crack form in their bond. How could he love someone who'd once made her life hell? She'd kept her distance, avoiding Lily at family gatherings, but tonight, there was no escape. Emma, you okay? Her best friend, Mia, 27, appeared at her side, her dark curls bouncing as she tilted her head. Mia, a fiercely loyal bartender with a knack for reading people, had been Emma's rock since college. Her warm brown eyes searched Emma's face. "I'm fine," Emma lied, her voice low. "Just processing." Mia raised an eyebrow. "Processing the fact that your brother's marrying your high school bully?" Emma winced. "Don't call her that. It's not that simple." But it had been. In high school, Lily Harper was the queen bee, blonde, beautiful, and brutal. At 17, Emma had come out as a lesbian, a bold move in a town where conformity was king. Lily, then a senior, had led the charge against her, her taunts about Emma's weird clothes and unnatural feelings cutting deep. One memory burned brightest. Lily, surrounded by her clique, laughing as she called Emma a freak in the school courtyard. Emma had run home, tears streaming, vowing never to let anyone make her feel small again. Now Lily was speaking, her voice steady and warm. "I want to thank you all for being here," she said, her eyes sweeping the room. "This day means everything to me, not just because of Ethan, but because it's a chance to make things right." Emma's stomach twisted. Make things right? What did that mean? She glanced at Ethan, who beamed with pride, oblivious to the history between his sister and his bride. The crowd leaned in, captivated by Lily's poise, but Emma felt like she was drowning. She needed air. Slipping outside, she leaned against a balcony railing, the ocean's roar a distant comfort. The stars above Havenport were brighter than in the city, and for a moment, she let herself breathe. She wasn't that scared kid anymore. She'd built a life, friends, a career, a community that embraced her. But being here, seeing Lily, brought it all back. Footsteps approached, and Emma tensed. Lily stood there, her wedding dress shimmering in the moonlight. Up close, she looked different. Older, softer. Her blue eyes carrying a weight Emma hadn't expected. "Emma," Lily said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Can we talk?" Emma crossed her arms. "What's there to talk about?" Lily hesitated, then stepped closer. "I owe you an apology. For everything." Emma's heart stuttered, but she kept her face hard. "You think an apology fixes what you did?" "No," Lily said, her voice breaking. "But I need you to know I'm not that person anymore. I was a stupid kid, scared of anything different. I hurt you, and I've carried that guilt for years. Emma wanted to snap back, to unleash the pain she'd buried. But something in Lily's eyes, raw, unguarded, stopped her. Was this real, or just a performance for Ethan's sake? I don't expect forgiveness, Lily continued, but I'm marrying your brother, and I want to try to make this right. For him. For you. Emma's throat tightened. She wanted to believe Lily, but trust was a fragile thing, and hers had been shattered long ago. Why now? She asked, her voice sharp. Why say this on your wedding day? Lily's gaze dropped to the floor. Because tonight, I realized how much you mean to Ethan, and how much I've taken from you both. Emma stared at her, the words sinking in. The ocean crashed below, a reminder of how vast and unpredictable life could be. She didn't know if she could forgive Lily, but for the first time she saw a flicker of possibility. A chance to heal, or at least to understand. As Lily turned to rejoin the reception, Emma stayed on the balcony, her mind racing. This was only the beginning. The night and Lily's speech would change everything. Emma lingered on the balcony, the cool night air doing little to calm the storm inside her. Lily's words echoed in her mind, each syllable a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit. An apology, after all these years, felt like a drop of water in a desert. Too late, too small to quench the ache. She rejoined the reception, slipping into her seat beside Mia, who was nursing a glass of champagne. The room buzzed with chatter, but Emma's focus was on Lily, now laughing with Ethan at the head table. Her brother looked so happy, his hand resting gently on Lily's. It made Emma's chest tighten, not with jealousy, but with a strange mix of love and resentment. How could Ethan not see the history that shadowed this moment? Mia leaned closer, her voice low. She talked to you, didn't she? What did she say? Emma sighed, picking at her napkin. She apologized. Said she's not the same person. Mia snorted. Convenient timing. You believe her? I don't know, Emma admitted. She seemed sincere. But it's hard to trust someone who made you feel like nothing. Mia nodded, her eyes softening. You don't owe her anything, Em. Not forgiveness, not even a conversation. But Emma wasn't so sure. Ethan's happiness mattered to her, and if Lily was truly part of his life now, avoiding her wasn't an option. She glanced at the couple again, catching Lily's eye for a fleeting moment. There was something there, regret maybe, or a plea for understanding. It unnerved her. The band struck up a slow song, and Ethan led Lily to the dance floor. The crowd cheered as they swayed, a picture-perfect couple. Emma's mind drifted to the past, to the summer before her senior year. She'd been 17, awkward but bold, wearing her heart on her sleeve. Coming out in Havenport had been like stepping into a lion's den. Most people whispered or stared, but Lily had been vicious, her words a public spectacle. Emma could still hear the laughter, feel the heat of shame as she'd fled the school courtyard. Now, watching Lily in Ethan's arms, Emma wondered who this woman really was. Had she changed, or was this just a polished act? The thought gnawed at her, but she pushed it aside as Ethan approached, his grin wide. Hey sis, he said, pulling her into a hug. You holding up okay? Emma forced a smile. Yeah, just taking it all in. Ethan's eyes sparkled. I know it's weird, you being back here, but I'm so glad you came. It means the world to me. Emma's heart ached. She wanted to tell him everything. About Lily, about the pain that still lingered, but his joy stopped her. I wouldn't miss it, she said instead. As Ethan returned to Lily, Mia nudged Emma. You're too nice, you know that? If my brother married someone who hurt me, I'd be raising hell. Emma chuckled, but it was hollow. He loves her, Mia. What am I supposed to do? Ruin his day. You're allowed to feel what you feel, Mia said firmly. Don't let her off the hook just because she's got a ring now. The night wore on, and Emma tried to lose herself in the celebration. She danced with Mia, laughed at her cousin's bad jokes, and toasted with her aunts. But Lily's presence was a shadow she couldn't shake. Every glance, every smile, felt like a challenge, an invitation to confront the past. As the evening neared its end, the MC announced the bride's speech. Emma's stomach dropped. She'd almost forgotten Lily's earlier words about making things right. The crowd hushed as Lily took the microphone, her hands trembling slightly. Ethan stood beside her, beaming, oblivious to the tension coiling in Emma's chest. "Thank you all for being here," Lily began, her voice clear but laced with emotion. "This day is more than a wedding. It's a chance to reflect on love, how it grows, how it changes us, and how it demands we face our mistakes." Emma's breath caught. The room seemed to shrink, every eye on Lily. Was this it? Was she about to address their history in front of everyone? "I haven't always been the person I wanted to be," Lily continued, her gaze flickering toward Emma. "In high school, I was cruel. I hurt someone who didn't deserve it, someone who was brave when I was weak. I mocked her for being herself, and that's a weight I'll carry forever." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Ethan's smile faltered, confusion crossing his face. Emma's heart raced. She hadn't expected this, not here, not now. "That person is here tonight," Lily said, her voice breaking. "And I want her to know I'm sorry, not just for what I did, but for the years it took me to say it." All eyes turned to Emma. She felt exposed, raw, as if the room had peeled back her skin. Mia gripped her hand under the table, a silent anchor. Ethan looked at Lily, then at Emma, realization dawning. The silence was deafening. "I don't expect forgiveness," Lily said, tears glistening in her eyes. "But I promise to spend my life proving I've changed. To her, to Ethan, to all of you." The crowd erupted in applause, but Emma couldn't move. Her mind was a battlefield. Anger, pain, and a flicker of something else she couldn't name. Lily's words were raw, public, and undeniable. But were they enough? As the applause faded, Ethan approached Emma, his face pale. Did she was that about you?" Emma nodded, her throat tight. "Yeah, it was." Ethan's jaw clenched. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to ruin this for you," she said softly. "You love her." He ran a hand through his hair, torn. "I love you too, Em. If I'd known." "It's okay," she said, though it wasn't. "We'll talk later." As Ethan returned to Lily, Emma felt the weight of the night settle over her. Lily's speech had cracked something open. A door to healing, or perhaps to more pain. She didn't know yet, but as she watched her brother and his new wife, one thing was clear. This story was far from over. The reception hall felt suffocating, the weight of Lily's speech pressing against Emma's chest. She slipped outside again, the cool night air a sharp contrast to the warmth of the crowd. The ocean's rhythm was steady, grounding, but it couldn't drown out the chaos in her mind. Mia followed, her steps soft on the stone path. "You okay, Em?" That was intense. Emma leaned against the railing, staring at the stars. "I don't know what to feel." She just laid it all bare, in front of everyone. Why would she do that? "Maybe she meant it," Mia said, though her tone was skeptical. "Or maybe she's trying to save face." Emma shook her head. It felt real. "But that doesn't erase what she did." "No, it doesn't," Mia agreed. "But you get to decide what happens next. Not her." The words lingered as Emma's thoughts churned. Lily's apology, so public and raw, had shifted something. The crowd's applause, Ethan's shock. It was all too much. She needed space to process, to decide if forgiveness was even possible. Back inside, the party continued, oblivious to the undercurrents. Emma returned to find Ethan waiting for her, his expression a mix of worry and guilt. "Em, we need to talk," he said, pulling her to a quiet corner. "Why didn't you tell me about Lily?" he asked, his voice low. "All this time I thought you just didn't like her. I had no idea she hurt you." Emma's throat tightened. "I didn't want to make it your problem. You were happy. I thought I could handle it." Ethan's eyes softened. "You're my sister. Your pain is my problem. I wish you'd told me." "I didn't want to ruin this," Emma said, gesturing to the wedding. "You love her, Ethan. I couldn't take that from you." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I do love her, but I love you too. If she hurt you, I need to know everything. Emma hesitated, then let the words spill out. She told him about high school, Lily's taunts, the courtyard incident, the way those words had shaped her. Ethan listened, his face darkening with each detail. I can't believe she did that, he said when she finished. She never told me. Not once. She's changed, maybe, Emma said, though doubt lingered. Her speech, it sounded like she meant it. Ethan's jaw tightened. I'm going to talk to her. She needs to explain herself. Don't, Emma said quickly. Not tonight. This is your day. Let's not make it about me. Ethan shook his head. It's about us. All of us. I can't just pretend this didn't happen. Before Emma could respond, Lily approached, her expression cautious. Ethan, can I borrow you for a moment? Her eyes flicked to Emma, a silent question. Ethan glanced at Emma, then nodded. We'll talk later, Em. I promise. As they walked away, Emma felt a pang of unease. She didn't want to drive a wedge between her brother and his new wife, but the truth was out now, and there was no going back. The rest of the night passed in a blur. Emma danced, smiled, and played the part of the supportive sister, but her mind was elsewhere. She kept replaying Lily's speech, dissecting every word. Was it genuine, or a calculated move to clear her conscience? And why did Emma feel a flicker of something? Pity, maybe, or curiosity? When she looked at Lily now, as the guests began to leave, Mia pulled Emma aside. You're staying at my place tonight, right? I don't want you alone with all this. Emma nodded, grateful. Yeah. Thanks, Mia. They drove to Mia's small apartment in Havenport, the radio playing softly as the town's lights faded behind them. Inside, Mia poured them both a glass of wine, and they sat on the couch, the weight of the night settling between them. So, Mia said, swirling her glass, what's your next move? Emma stared into her wine, the red liquid catching the light. I don't know. Part of me wants to confront her, really dig into why she did what she did. But another part just wants to let it go. Mia raised an eyebrow. Let it go? After everything? Not forgive her, Emma clarified. Just move on. For Ethan's sake. Mia shook her head. You're too good, Em. But whatever you decide, I've got your back. They talked late into the night, the conversation drifting from Lily to Emma's life in San Francisco. She loved her job, her friends, the freedom of the city. But being back in Havenport had stirred old wounds, and she wasn't sure how to close them. The next morning, Emma woke to a text from Ethan. Can we meet? Lily wants to talk. Just the three of us. Her stomach nodded. She wasn't ready, but she couldn't avoid it forever. She met them at a quiet cafe on the boardwalk, the ocean sparkling under the morning sun. Ethan sat between Emma and Lily, a buffer in case things got heated. Lily looked nervous, her hands fidgeting with her coffee cup. Thank you for coming, Lily said, her voice soft. I know last night was a lot. Emma nodded, her guard up. Yeah, it was. Lily took a deep breath. I meant every word I said, but I know it's not enough. I want to tell you why I was the way I was. Not to excuse it, but to explain. Emma's heart thudded. She wasn't sure she wanted to hear this, but she nodded. Go ahead. Lily's eyes glistened. I was raised in a house where being different wasn't okay. My parents, they were strict, religious. Anything outside their rules was wrong. When you came out, Emma, I was jealous of your courage. I lashed out because I was scared of what I didn't understand. Emma frowned. Jealous? You were the perfect cheerleader. You had everything. Lily shook her head. I had nothing real. I was playing a role, trying to fit in. Hurting you was my way of proving I belonged. The words hit Emma hard. She'd always seen Lily as untouchable, but now she saw a scared girl, not so different from herself. It didn't erase the pain, but it added a new layer to the story. I'm not asking for forgiveness, Lily said, but I want to earn your trust. For Ethan and for myself. Emma looked at her brother, his eyes pleading for peace. She didn't know if she could give it, but she wanted to try. For him and maybe for herself. The cafe's hum faded as Emma processed Lily's words. Jealousy? Fear? It was hard to reconcile the poised woman before her with the cruel teenager who'd once made her life hell. Yet Lily's vulnerability, the crack in her perfect facade, felt real. Ethan reached for Emma's hand. I know this is a lot, Em. I'm still wrapping my head around it. But I want us to be okay. All of us. Emma pulled her hand back, not ready for that comfort. I get that you want that, Ethan. But this isn't just about you and Lily. It's about me, too. Lily nodded, her eyes downcast. I know, and I'm not asking you to pretend it didn't happen. I want a chance to show you I've changed. Emma's jaw tightened. Why should I believe you? You say you're sorry, but words don't undo the past. You're right, Lily said softly. They don't. But I'm hoping actions can. The sincerity in her voice stirred something in Emma. Doubt, maybe, or the faintest hope. She glanced at Ethan, his expression torn between love for his wife and loyalty to his sister. She hated putting him in this position, but she couldn't ignore her own pain. I need time, Emma said finally. This isn't something I can just get over. Lily nodded. I understand. I'll be here when you're ready. Ethan squeezed Lily's hand, a silent thank you. Emma felt a pang, part guilt, part resentment. She wanted to protect her brother's happiness, but not at the cost of her own. The rest of the day passed in a haze. Emma wandered Havenport's boardwalk, the salty breeze a reminder of simpler times when she and Ethan would race along the shore, their laughter drowning out the world. Now everything felt heavier. She called Mia, needing her friend's clarity. So, what's the verdict? Mia asked, her voice crackling through the phone. You buying Lily's redemption arc? Emma sighed, kicking a pebble into the sand. I don't know. She seems genuine, but I keep waiting for the catch. Like, what if this is just a show for Ethan? Then you call her out, Mia said. But if she's for real, maybe you give her a chance. Not for her, but for you. Holding on to that anger. It's heavy, Em. Mia was right, but letting go felt like betraying her younger self. Emma ended the call and sat on a bench watching the waves. She thought of her life in San Francisco, her cozy apartment, her design projects, the queer community that had become her family. She'd built something strong, but Havenport always pulled her back to the girl she used to be. That evening, Ethan invited Emma to dinner at their childhood home, a modest house on the edge of town. Lily was there, helping in the kitchen, her laughter mingling with Ethan's. It was surreal, seeing her in a space so tied to Emma's memories. She wanted to hate Lily, but the sight of her chopping vegetables, teasing Ethan about his terrible knife skills, made her seem human. Dinner was quiet at first, the clink of silverware loud in the tension. Ethan tried to keep things light, sharing stories about their childhood, but Emma's mind was elsewhere. Finally, Lily broke the silence. Emma, I found something the other day, she said, pulling out a small, worn notebook. It's from high school. I wrote in it back then, and well, it's not pretty. Emma's heart skipped. What is it? Lily hesitated, then slid the notebook across the table. It's my journal. I wrote about you, not just the bad stuff but how I felt after. I thought you should see it. Emma opened the notebook, her hands trembling. The pages were filled with Lily's teenage scrawl. Petty rants, confessions of insecurity, and, buried among them, entries about Emma. She's so brave, and I hate her for it. I wish I could be like that. Another, I said awful things today. I don't know why. I'm such a coward. Emma's throat tightened. The words were raw, unfiltered. A window into the girl Lily had been. It didn't excuse her actions, but it painted a picture of someone struggling, not just cruel. Why show me this? Emma asked, her voice thick. Because I want you to know I'm not hiding, Lily said. I was a mess back then. I'm still figuring myself out, but I'm trying to be better. Ethan watched them, his eyes soft but wary. Emma closed the notebook, her emotions a tangle. This doesn't fix it, she said. But it helps. Lily nodded, tears in her eyes. That's all I can ask for. The rest of the dinner was easier, the conversation flowing more naturally. Emma didn't forgive Lily. Not yet, but she felt a shift, a crack in the wall she'd built. As she drove back to Mia's, she realized she was starting to see Lily not as a villain, but as a person, flawed, like her. The next day, Emma joined Ethan and Lily for a walk along the cliffs. The air was crisp, the ocean an endless blue. Lily hung back, giving Emma and Ethan space to talk. They reminisced about their parents, their old dog, the summers that felt eternal. For a moment, Emma felt like herself again. Not the wounded teenager, but the woman she'd become. As they reached a lookout point, Lily caught up, her expression hesitant. Emma, I know I keep saying this, but I want to keep talking. Whenever you're ready. Emma looked at her, the wind tugging at her hair. Maybe I will, she said. But it's going to take time. Lily smiled, small but genuine. I've got time. As they stood there, the three of them against the vastness of the sea, Emma felt a flicker of hope. Not for forgiveness, not yet, but for something new. A chance to rewrite their story one step at a time. The cliffs of Havenport stretched endlessly before Emma, their rugged edges a mirror of her own jagged emotions. She'd spent the past few days wrestling with Lily's journal, its words looping in her mind. The vulnerability in those pages clashed with the memory of Lily's cruelty, leaving Emma caught between anger and curiosity. Back at Mia's apartment, Emma sprawled on the couch, the journal open in her lap. Mia, pouring coffee, glanced over. Still obsessing over that thing? It's not obsessing, Emma said, though she wasn't convinced. It's trying to understand. Mia sat beside her, peering at the notebook. Okay, so she was a messed up kid. Doesn't mean you owe her a free pass. I know, Emma said, rubbing her temples. But she's not just some ghost from my past anymore. She's Ethan's wife. I can't just ignore her. Mia sighed. Fair. But don't let her off easy. She's got to earn it. Emma nodded, but her thoughts were elsewhere. Lily's journal had revealed a side of her Emma hadn't expected. A girl trapped by her own fears, lashing out to fit in. It didn't erase the pain, but it made Lily less of a monster and more of a person. That shift scared Emma. It was easier to hate a caricature than to face the complexity of a real human. Later that day, Emma met Ethan and Lily at a local park, a sprawling green space where kids played and couples strolled. Ethan suggested it, hoping neutral ground might ease the tension. Lily brought a picnic, her attempt at normalcy, but Emma felt the weight of their history in every glance. As they sat on a blanket, Ethan filled the silence with stories about his new job as a marine biologist, his excitement contagious. Lily listened, her smile soft, but Emma noticed her stealing glances, as if gauging Emma's mood. Finally, Lily spoke. Emma, I've been thinking about what you said at the cafe, about needing time. I want you to know I'm okay with that. I hope we can find a way to be family. Emma's instinct was to snap back, to remind Lily of the years she'd spent rebuilding herself. But the sincerity in Lily's eyes stopped her. Family's a big word, Emma said carefully. I'm not there yet. Lily nodded, unfazed. I get it. I just want you to know I'm trying. Ethan squeezed Lily's hand, his eyes on Emma. I know this is hard, Em, but I'm grateful you're here. Both of you. The moment felt fragile, like a thread that could snap with one wrong move. Emma took a deep breath, focusing on the kids laughing nearby, their joy a stark contrast to her inner turmoil. She didn't trust Lily, not fully, but she couldn't deny the effort. Over the next few days, Emma stayed in Havenport, balancing time with Ethan and Lily with moments of solitude. She walked the beach, sketched in her notebook, and called her friends in San Francisco, their voices grounding her. But Lily was a constant presence, woven into every interaction with Ethan. It was disorienting, like stepping into a new version of her family. One evening, Lily invited Emma to a community event, a fundraiser for a local LGBTQ plus youth center. Emma hesitated, suspecting a calculated move, but Mia convinced her to go. If she's faking it, you'll see through it, Mia said. And if she's not, maybe you'll learn something. The event was held at a community hall, decorated with rainbow flags and fairy lights. Teens chatted animatedly, their energy infectious. Emma felt a pang of nostalgia for her own youth, before the weight of others' judgments had settled in. Lily was there, helping organize, her smile genuine as she talked to the kids. Emma watched from a distance, her arms crossed. Lily approached, holding 2 cups of lemonade. "Thought you might be thirsty," she said, offering one. Emma took it, wary. "Why are you here, Lily?" "Really?" Lily's smile faded. "I started volunteering here a year ago. After Ethan and I got serious, I wanted to understand your world better. I know I can't undo what I did, but I can support kids like you were." Emma's chest tightened. "So this is about me?" "Not just you," Lily said. "It's about doing better. I saw how strong you were even back then. These kids, they need that strength too." Emma didn't know what to say. The idea of Lily volunteering for queer youth was jarring. But the kids' laughter, their ease around her, spoke volumes. Was this the real Lily, or just another layer of her performance? As the night went on, Emma joined a group of teens, sharing stories about her life in San Francisco. Their eyes lit up as she described pride parades, queer art shows, the community that had saved her. For the first time in Havenport, she felt like herself. Not the wounded girl, but the woman she'd become. Lily watched from across the room, a quiet respect in her gaze. When the event ended, she approached Emma. "Thanks for coming. It means a lot to see you here." Emma nodded, her guard still up but softening. "It was good. For the kids." Lily smiled, a flicker of hope in her eyes. "Maybe we can do this again. No pressure." As Emma left, the night air cool against her skin, she felt a shift. Lily wasn't her enemy anymore, not entirely. But trust was a long road, and Emma wasn't sure she was ready to walk it. Back at Mia's, she lay awake, the journal on her nightstand. She didn't need to read it again. Its words were etched in her mind. Lily's past was messy, like her own. Maybe that was the starting point. Not forgiveness, but understanding. For now, it was enough. The fundraiser lingered in Emma's mind, a crack in the wall she'd built against Lily. She'd seen something real in Lily's work with those kids. Passion, not performance. But doubt still gnawed at her, a reminder of the pain that hadn't fully healed. Emma spent the next morning sketching on the beach, the waves a steady rhythm against her thoughts. Her pencil traced the cliffs, the horizon, but her mind kept drifting to Lily. The journal, the apology, the youth center, it all painted a picture of someone trying to change. But could Emma trust it? Ethan called, inviting her to a family barbecue at their house. "Just us, Lily, and a few cousins," he said, his voice hopeful. "It'll be low-key. I'd love for you to come." Emma hesitated. "I don't know, Ethan. I'm still figuring things out." "I get it," he said. "But I miss you, Em. And Lily, she's trying. I think you'd see that if you spent more time with her." Emma sighed. She didn't want to disappoint Ethan, but every step toward Lily felt like a risk. Still, she agreed, more for her brother than for herself. The barbecue was in the backyard of Ethan and Lily's new home, a cozy place with a view of the ocean. The smell of grilled burgers filled the air, and their cousins, Jake, 25, and Sarah, 29, kept the mood light with their banter. Emma relaxed, the familiarity of family easing her tension. Lily was quieter than usual, tending the grill with Ethan. She caught Emma's eye and offered a small smile, but didn't push for conversation. It was a relief, giving Emma space to observe. Lily seemed at ease, laughing with Sarah, passing out drinks. But Emma noticed the way she glanced at her, as if waiting for a signal. After lunch, Emma wandered to the edge of the yard, where a small garden bloomed with wildflowers. Lily joined her, holding 2 iced teas. "Thought you might want one," she said, handing Emma a glass. "Thanks," Emma said, her tone neutral. She took a sip, the cold drink grounding her. Lily gestured to the flowers. "I planted these last spring. Ethan said you used to love gardening with your mom." Emma's heart twinged. She hadn't gardened since her mom died. The memory's too painful. "Yeah, it was our thing." Lily nodded, her expression soft. "I lost my mom young, too. It's hard, isn't it? The little things that bring them back. Emma looked at her, surprised. You never mentioned that. There's a lot I haven't said, Lily admitted. I wasn't sure you'd want to hear it. Emma didn't respond, but the silence wasn't hostile. They stood there, the flowers swaying in the breeze, a fragile connection forming. Lily didn't push, and Emma appreciated it. Maybe this was what change looked like, small moments, not grand gestures. As the barbecue wound down, Ethan pulled Emma aside. You doing okay? I know this is weird. I'm managing, Emma said. She's different. I'm trying to see it. Ethan's face lit up. That's all I can ask for. I just want my family together. Emma nodded, but her heart was conflicted. She wanted that too, but trust was a slow burn, and she wasn't there yet. Over the next week, Emma stayed in Havenport, splitting her time between Mia's place and family events. She saw Lily at a few dinners, a movie night, a walk on the boardwalk. Each time, Lily was careful, respectful, never pushing too hard. It was disarming, and Emma hated how it softened her defenses. One evening, Emma found herself at the youth center again, helping with an art workshop. Lily was there, guiding a shy teen through a painting. The girl, 15, reminded Emma of herself. Quiet, guarded, but fiercely creative. When the girl smiled at Lily's encouragement, Emma felt a pang. This was the Lily she'd never known in high school, the one who could have been a friend. After the workshop, Lily approached. You're good with them, she said. The kids, they light up around you. Emma shrugged, uncomfortable with the praise. They're easy to connect with. They just need someone to listen. Lily nodded, her eyes distant. I wish I'd listened back then. To you, to myself. I was so caught up in being what everyone expected. Emma's chest tightened. Why are you telling me this now? Because I want you to know who I am, Lily said. Not just who I was. I'm still learning, but I'm trying to get it right. Emma didn't respond, but the words stayed with her. She was starting to see Lily's efforts, not just for her, but for the community, for Ethan. It wasn't enough to erase the past, but it was a start. As she drove back to Mia's, Emma felt the weight of her own anger lifting, just a little. She wasn't ready to forgive, but she was ready to listen. For the first time, she wondered if their story could end differently. Not with pain, but with something closer to peace. The Havenport sky burned orange as Emma walked the beach, her sketchbook tucked under her arm. The past weeks had been a whirlwind, Lily's apologies, Ethan's hope, the youth center. Each moment chipped away at her resentment, but trust was still a distant shore. She stopped to sketch, capturing the waves' restless dance. Her phone buzzed, a text from Lily. Can we meet tomorrow? Just you and me. I want to talk. Emma's thumb hovered over the screen. Part of her wanted to say no, to keep the distance safe. But curiosity, and maybe something softer, made her type. Okay. Where? They met at a small diner on the edge of town, its neon sign flickering in the morning light. Lily was already there, sipping coffee, her blonde hair pulled into a loose bun. She looked nervous, her fingers tapping the mug. Thanks for coming, Lily said as Emma slid into the booth. I know I keep asking for your time. Emma nodded, her guard up. What's this about? Lily took a deep breath. I've been thinking about what you said about family being a big word. You're right, and I want to earn that, but I need to be honest with you first. Emma's stomach nodded. Honest about what? Lily's eyes glistened. About why I was so cruel in high school. It wasn't just jealousy or fear. I was struggling with myself. I liked girls too, but I couldn't admit it. Not then. Emma froze, the words hitting like a wave. You're saying you were what? In the closet. Lily nodded, her voice barely audible. I didn't have a name for it then. I just knew I felt something I wasn't supposed to. When you came out, so sure of yourself, I hated how brave you were. I took it out on you. Emma's mind reeled. Lily, the perfect cheerleader, had been hiding her own truth? It reframed everything, the taunts, the cruelty. It didn't excuse it, but it explained it in a way that made Emma's heart ache. Why didn't you say anything before? Emma asked, her voice sharp. All these years, you let me think it was just hate. I was ashamed, Lily said. After high school, I left Havenport, went to college, started figuring myself out. I dated women quietly. I told myself I'd moved on. But when I met Ethan and realized you were his sister, it brought it all back. Emma leaned back, processing. Does Ethan know? Yes, Lily said. I told him after the wedding. He's been supportive, but he's still processing. I wanted you to hear it from me, not him. Emma's thoughts spun. Lily's confession was a bridge between them, but it was fragile, built on years of pain. So what now? She asked. You tell me this, and we're supposed to be okay? No, Lily said. I don't expect that. I just want you to know who I am. I'm bisexual, Emma. I've made peace with it, but I haven't made peace with what I did to you. The diner's hum faded as Emma absorbed the words. She'd spent years seeing Lily as the enemy, but now she saw a woman who'd been fighting her own battles. It didn't erase the hurt, but it softened the edges. I need to think about this, Emma said finally. It's a lot. Lily nodded, tears spilling over. I know. I'm here when you're ready. They parted ways, and Emma drove to the cliffs, needing the ocean's clarity. She sat on a rock, her sketchbook open but untouched. Lily's confession had rewritten their story, but it didn't erase the scars. Could she forgive someone who'd hurt her so deeply, even if they'd been hurting too? That evening, Emma met Ethan at a bar, just the two of them. He looked tired, his usual grin absent. Lily told me everything, he said, about her past, her feelings. I had no idea. Emma sipped her beer, her heart heavy. Me neither. It changes things, but it doesn't fix them. Ethan nodded. I'm mad she didn't tell me sooner, but I love her, Em. And I love you. I don't know how to make this right. You don't have to, Emma said. This is between me and Lily, but I need you to understand why it's hard for me. I do, Ethan said, his voice thick. I just want my family back. Emma reached for his hand, a rare gesture. We're still family. We'll figure it out. The next day, Emma returned to the youth center, helping with a poetry slam. The kids' words, raw, honest, echoed her own struggles. Lily was there too, cheering them on. When their eyes met, Emma felt a shift. Not forgiveness, but a willingness to try. As the event ended, Emma approached Lily. Thanks for telling me the truth, she said. It doesn't make it okay, but it helps. Lily's smile was small, hopeful. That's more than I deserve. Emma didn't reply, but as she left, she felt lighter. The road to trust was long, but for the first time, she believed it was possible. Emma woke to the sound of waves, the rhythm of Havenport seeping into her bones. Lily's confession had shifted something fundamental, like a lens refocusing. She wasn't ready to forgive, but the anger that had defined her for so long felt less like a cage. She spent the morning at Mia's, sketching ideas for a new design project. Mia, flipping through a magazine, glanced over. You've been quiet since the diner. Lily's bombshell still messing with you? Emma set her pencil down. Yeah, I didn't expect her to be like me. It makes it harder to hate her. Mia raised an eyebrow. Harder, but not impossible. Emma laughed, the sound easing her tension. True, but I'm starting to see her as a person, not just the villain in my story. Mia nodded. That's progress. Just don't let her off too easy. Emma didn't plan to, but Lily's honesty had cracked open a door, and she couldn't help but peer through it. She wanted to understand, not just Lily, but herself. How much of her identity had been shaped by that high school pain, and how much could she let go? That afternoon, Ethan invited Emma to a boat trip, a tradition from their childhood. Lily was there too, her presence less jarring now. The three of them sailed along Havenport's coast, the wind sharp and salty. Ethan manned the helm, his laughter echoing as he pointed out dolphins in the distance. Lily sat near Emma, her gaze on the horizon. This place is beautiful, she said. I forgot how much it means to you and Ethan. Emma nodded, her hands gripping the railing. It's home, even when it hurts. Lily's eyes softened. I'm sorry I made it hurt more. I wish I could go back. You can't, Emma said, her voice steady. But you're here now. That's something. Lily's smile was tentative, hopeful. They didn't speak much after that, but the silence was comfortable, a step toward something new. Back on shore, Ethan pulled Emma aside. You and Lily seem better. Am I imagining it? Emma shrugged. We're talking. It's not easy, but it's a start. Ethan's relief was palpable. I'm glad. I know it's complicated, but I want us to be a family. Emma's heart twinged. I want that too, but it's going to take time. Over the next few days, Emma and Lily found a rhythm. They met at the youth center, worked side by side, their conversations cautious but growing easier. Emma saw the way Lily listened to the kids, her patience endless. It wasn't an act. She could feel it. One evening, after a long day at the center, Lily invited Emma for coffee. They sat outside a small cafe, the sunset painting the sky in pinks and golds. Lily stirred her drink, her expression thoughtful. I've been thinking about what you said, Lily began, about family being a big word. I want to earn that, but I don't know how. Emma leaned back, considering. Keep showing up, not just for me but for the kids, for Ethan. Be consistent. Lily nodded. I will. And I want you to know, you don't have to hide who you are around me. I get it now in a way I didn't before. Emma's chest tightened. She hadn't realized how much she'd been guarding herself. Even now. Thanks, she said softly. That means something. As they parted, Emma felt a shift. Lily wasn't her friend, not yet, but she was no longer the enemy. The past was still there, but it didn't define them anymore. Back at Mia's, Emma called her San Francisco friends, catching them up. They cheered her progress, their voices a reminder of the life waiting for her. But Havenport was pulling her in, too. Not just the pain, but the possibility of healing. The next day, Emma joined Lily and Ethan for a hike, the trail winding through cliffs and forests. The air was crisp, the views breathtaking. Lily shared stories of her college years, her journey to self-acceptance. Emma listened, surprised by how much they had in common: art, music, the quiet ache of feeling out of place. As they reached a lookout point, Ethan snapped a photo of them, the ocean sprawling behind. My favorite people, he said, grinning. Emma looked at Lily, then at her brother. For the first time, she could imagine a future where they all fit. It wasn't perfect, but it was possible. Emma stood at the edge of Havenport's pier, the ocean stretching endless and blue. Her time in town was nearing its end, her San Francisco life calling her back. But the past weeks had changed her, softening the edges of old wounds. Lily had become a constant presence, not a friend, but no longer a stranger. Their conversations, tentative at first, had grown deeper, rooted in shared vulnerabilities. Emma still carried the scars of high school, but Lily's efforts, her work at the youth center, her honesty, were building something new. That morning, Ethan texted, asking Emma to meet him and Lily at the beach. One last day before you go, he wrote. Emma agreed, though her heart was heavy. Leaving meant confronting what this time had meant and what she wanted from Lily moving forward. The beach was quiet, the summer crowds thinning as fall approached. Ethan and Lily were already there, setting up a small bonfire. Emma joined them, the warmth of the flames cutting through the cool air. You're heading back tomorrow, huh? Ethan said, tossing a stick into the fire. Gonna miss you, sis. Emma smiled. I'll miss you too, but I'll visit more. Promise. Lily glanced at her, her expression soft. I'm glad you stayed as long as you did. It's been good. Emma nodded, unsure how to respond. Good didn't capture the complexity of it. The pain, the growth, the fragile trust forming between them. They spent the day together, laughing, sharing stories, the ocean a steady backdrop. Emma felt a peace she hadn't expected, a sense that maybe, just maybe, they could be a family. But doubts lingered. Could she truly let go of the past? As the sun set, Lily pulled Emma aside. I know you're leaving, and I don't want to make this harder, but I need you to know. I'm committed to this. to being better, to being family. Emma's throat tightened. I see that, and I'm trying too. But it's not easy. I know, Lily said. I'll keep showing up. For you, for Ethan, for those kids. Emma looked at her, the firelight dancing in Lily's eyes. Keep doing that. It's working. They rejoined Ethan, the three of them sitting close as the stars emerged. Emma felt a shift. Not forgiveness, not yet, but a willingness to move forward. The past would always be there, but it didn't have to define them. The next morning, Emma packed her bags at Mia's, her heart a mix of relief and reluctance. Mia hugged her tightly. You did good, Em. You faced it all. Thanks for being my rock, Emma said, her voice thick. I needed it. Always, Mia said, grinning. Now go back to your fancy city life. But don't forget us. Emma laughed, promising to return soon. As she drove to the airport, she thought of Lily's speech, the journal, the youth center. Each moment had been a step toward something new. Not erasing the pain, but building alongside it. At the airport, Ethan and Lily met her to say goodbye. Ethan hugged her, his eyes misty. Come back soon. Okay? We're not done. I will, Emma said, meaning it. Lily stepped forward, hesitant. Emma, I thank you for giving me a chance. Emma nodded, her smile small but genuine. Keep showing up, Lily. We'll see where it goes. As she boarded her flight, Emma felt a weight lift. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time, she believed in the possibility of healing. Not just for herself, but for all of them. Back in San Francisco, Emma's apartment felt both familiar and foreign. The city's hum, the vibrant murals, her cozy studio. They welcomed her, but Havenport lingered in her bones. She unpacked her sketchbook, its pages filled with cliffs and waves, and a single portrait of Lily, her face softened by regret. The weeks that followed were a blur of work and routine, but Emma's thoughts kept drifting to her brother and his wife. Ethan sent photos, him and Lily at the youth center, laughing with the kids. Lily texted, too, short messages about the center or a funny moment with Ethan. Emma responded, cautious but open, each reply a step toward trust. One evening, Emma joined her friends at a queer art gallery, the space alive with color and laughter. As she shared stories of Havenport, her friends listened, their support unwavering. Sounds like you're building something, her friend Jamie said. Not just with Lily, but with yourself. Emma nodded, realizing it was true. Havenport had forced her to face her past, but it had also shown her how far she'd come. She wasn't that scared teenager anymore. She was strong, whole, and capable of choosing her own path. A month later, Ethan called, his voice bright. We're coming to San Francisco for a weekend. Can we stay with you? Emma's heart lifted. Of course. Bring Lily. When they arrived, the city embraced them. Emma showed them her favorite spots, cafes, bookstores, the Castro's rainbow crosswalks. Lily was quiet at first, taking it all in, but her questions were genuine, her curiosity real. Ethan beamed, his arm around Lily, his pride in his sister evident. On their last night, they sat on Emma's balcony, the city sparkling below. Lily raised her glass. To new beginnings, she said, her eyes on Emma. Emma clinked her glass, a small smile forming. To family. It wasn't forgiveness, not fully, but it was enough. Lily had shown up consistently, authentically, and Emma had chosen to meet her halfway, not for Lily's sake, but for her own. As they laughed into the night, Emma felt a peace settle over her. The past would always be there, but it no longer held her captive. She'd written a new chapter, one of healing, of hope, of a family redefined.